The world could be on the brink of a food crisis, and in today's video I want to look at a company operating in one of the most overlooked resources, potash. The price of potash went parabolic 3 years ago when there was a sudden supply crunch, which is something that we could see again as global tensions rise. But before we get into the video, if you find any value in this, can I ask you to smash the like button? It literally costs nothing, but it helps the channel out so much. I'm aiming to get 1,000 likes on this video. Help me achieve that goal. For anyone that's new, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any new content like this. I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice, so always do your own due diligence. Now let's get straight into it. Brazil Potash is a fertilizer company constructing a new Otara's project in the Amazon region. They are developing Brazil's largest potash project that will supply sustainable fertilizers to one of the world's largest agricultural exporters. Brazil is critical for global food security as the country has amongst the highest amounts of land, fresh water, and ideal climate for year-round crop growth. But it is vulnerable as it imported over 95% of its potash fertilizer in recent years, despite having what is anticipated to be one of the world's largest undeveloped potash basins in its own backyard. With initial planned annual potash production of up to 2.4 million tons per year, Brazil Potash's management believes it could possibly supply approximately 20% of the current potash demand in Brazil. So why might this be an opportunity right now? As I said at the start, the world is standing on the brink of a food crisis, and the UN projects the global food production needs to increase by at least 70% by 2025. But here's the interesting thing. Russia and Belarus control over 40% of the world's potash supply. And we found out just how fragile this supply chain is back in 2021 when Russia went into Ukraine. Almost overnight, the price of potash doubled as sanctions and tariffs were imposed. Prices went from $300 to nearly $1,200 per ton from mid-21 to 2020. And we can see that here on statista.com. Right now, we are back in very uncertain times. It is almost daily now that we see something about the Trump administration placing tariffs on a growing list of countries and industries. And I feel that we could see the price of potash increase once again. Something that could be a very big catalyst for a company such as Brazil Potash. Looking at the investor's presentation, recent geopolitical events have highlighted Brazil's need for potash supply security, and Brazil Potash Corp can be a key part of the solution. Brazil is the largest net exporter of agricultural products in the world, and this company has several upcoming catalysts, which I will talk about in a moment. We can see the delivered cost advantage here. Otara's may have the most competitive tons to market and significant domestic market share. And the world is heavily reliant on Brazil for agricultural production. Now, I don't want to spend this whole video going through the investor's presentation. As we can see, there is a lot of detailed statistics and graphs showing the levels of opportunity and demand in the potash industry. So I will focus on the important parts. Brazil Potash have a royalty option agreement with Franco-Nevada Corp, which is a leading royalty and streaming company globally with a large and diversified portfolio and a strong record of identifying successful projects. They have also signed agreements with Amaggi, one of the world's largest farmers, for the offtake agreement for over 500,000 tons per year. Amaggi is one of the largest private producers in the world, with revenues of nearly $10 billion. And Brazil Potash have obtained the main permits and licenses to commence operations. But Brazil Potash have recently signed some major deals that's driving interest in the stock. So let's take a look at some of these. The company has recently signed a memorandum of understanding with Keytrade AG, one of the world's leading fertilizer trading companies, for potential offtake of up to 1 million tons per year of potash from the company's Otara's Potash project. And most recently, Brazil Potash Executive Chairman Mayo Smith and leadership team met with Amazon State Governor Wilson Lima, Mayor Tom Neto, and the Mura Indigenous Council to discuss advancement of the potash project. Governor Lima highlighted the Amazon state government's commitment to promoting green potash combined with social development and environmental conservation. stating that the main objective is to promote social development, generate jobs, ensuring environmental preservation, and dialoguing with the indigenous people. While Brazil Potash's executive chairman, Mayo Smith, said, "Having spent decades building world-class agricultural businesses, including my roles as chairman and CEO of Nutrien and CEO of Viterra, I see tremendous potential in Brazil Potash's ability to establish a crucial domestic supply of potash for Brazil's agricultural sector and reduce reliance on foreign imports. With our recent achievements including securing water extraction permits, a second major offtake memorandum, and advancing our partnerships with local indigenous communities, we are now well positioned to advance construction of this strategic asset for Brazil's agricultural sector." So it's clear that the local government and the company do see huge potential here. But what do analysts think of Brazil Potash? So just a few weeks ago, at the beginning of January, analysts at Roth have set a price target of $17, citing the potential of Brazil Potash's flagship project to transform the domestic potash supply landscape in Brazil. Roth analysts emphasized that the project has advanced to a critical stage, with construction permits already secured, and production is projected to commence in 2029, with full capacity expected by 2031. So although the company is pre-revenue, right now there is a long-term focus here. Once operational, the mine is anticipated to generate annual revenues of about $1.1 billion and contribute to Brazil's agricultural sector. Additionally, the company's agreement with Amagi, a major player in Brazil's soybean market, for an annual takeoff of 500,000 tons of potash is seen as a positive step towards securing further financial backing. However, Roth's valuation of the company incorporates a discounted cash flow model, assuming a long-term potash pricing of $450 per ton. And importantly, the analysts project strong free cash flow once production begins, highlighting the economic resilience of the Atazes project. But it's not just Roth that see promise in this industry. Wallstreet has already seen potential, with institutional investors and more than 77 hedge funds adding potash stocks to their portfolio over the past year. Major industry players like BHP are also working to secure a footprint in the potash industry. The mining giant has invested over $5 billion in stage 1 of its Jansen potash project in Canada, with total investments in the sector exceeding $10 billion. And something to note here is that Brazil Potash only went public back in November. They commenced trading on the NYSE American on November 27, 2024 at a $15 IPO price, so there is currently a significant discount to that IPO price. Brazil Potash have an experienced management team and shareholder base that have experience across some of the biggest commodities companies in the world, such as Rio Tinto, BHP, or Shell, to name just a few. And the company is heavily backed by its base shareholders. Looking at simply Wall Street, we can see that institutions, firms, and individual insiders own over 70% of the company, while the general public only owns 28.5%. But guys, what do you think? Let me know your thoughts on Brazil Potash in the comments below. This stock is trading at $4 right now, but with a robust resource base, Brazil Potash offers a rare opportunity in a transformative project. As they progress towards production, Brazil Potash could establish itself as a significant player. But remember that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice, so I highly recommend you do more due diligence. To learn more about this company, check out the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.